Cameras. That's the one thing people care about a lot when they're buying a new smartphone. And since taking pictures is what people mostly do with a smartphone, cameras are important. And cameras have been getting better and better each and every year, be it flagship devices or be it mid-range devices, and they are getting more important. Well, for me this year, the best camera phone has been the P20 Pro, well, at least between OnePlus 6, iPhone X and the S9 Plus, because I haven't used the Pixel 2. But I think that there is no single perfect camera smartphones. Well, I've used plenty of smartphones, and believe me, the top 3 or the top 4 smartphones are marginally or slightly better than the rest top 5 or the top 6. But in this video, we'll give you top 4 mid-range smartphones that are currently available in Nepal, and it's up to you to decide which one is the better camera smartphone. So the mid-range market is really huge, and you can get all sorts of premium mid-range smartphone or budget mid-range smartphone. But what we have today will cover the entire spectrum of mid-range smartphones, because we have phones ranging between Rs 30,000 and Rs 60,000. Well, let me just list them in no particular order. We have the Xiaomi Mi A2, we have the Huawei Nova 3, Oppo F9, and we also have the Samsung Galaxy 8 Star. Well, these are also the latest offerings from the respective manufacturers in Nepal. And today we are going to run them through different scenarios, different subjects, different locations to see which ones performs better. And I'll give you my personal preference, my personal feedback to help you understand what's going on in the picture better and help you decide which one performs better. So it's up to you, and you might be in for a surprise. So with this first subject, the biggest difference will be the exposure level and the color temperature. All of them have good details, but they do vary slightly with sharpness level. And you can see that the biggest difference here are the color levels. The red is slightly warm in some of them and slightly cool in some others. Also, the exposure level is different, and you may even notice a slight overexposure with one of them. So here are all the photos side by side. Go on, you can examine them, choose your favorite one. Okay, are you done? So let's move on. So in this next picture, our subject in focus is the plant. And in this one, you'll notice differences in sharpness level and detail level on the background too. Especially, you can see difference in details when you take a look at the grass on the grounds, the green grasses. Furthermore, you can even see some subtle color temperature difference between the photos. You'll notice it if you take a look at the background. Some are warmer and some are cooler toned. And as earlier, you'll also notice overexposure in a photo. So now there's a pattern to follow for you guys. Well, that was a hint. And now here are all the photos side by side. Decide which photo you prefer and remember it until the end. Okay, now let's move on. Now in this picture, we have a flower on focus and plenty of buildings on the background. This picture should give you a slight information about the camera's dynamic range. But you'll also see that the main difference here are the brightness level and the colors. The color temperature varies slightly, and we can notice that some of the pictures have bright profile and some of them have more darker profile. And that also results in slightly different color approach on the green leaves. It's dark green in one and a light green in others, but this is also because of different exposure levels as well. So here are all the pictures together. Pick your favorite one and we'll move on at 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the next shot is a night shot of a restaurant near my gym, and these photos could give us a clear comparison of low light performance. So in this situation, more or less, each phone has done quite well to handle lights, but the exposure level is different in each of these photos, and you can clearly notice the difference in shadows as well. One of the phone has overexposed the shot so that it can get as much info on the background as well, while others choose to lose details on some part of the photo for more evenly exposed picture. Since we don't have a focal point in this picture, let's just check this part of the picture, which should give us a pretty good idea of how balanced the pictures are. So pick the one you like and we'll move on. So most of us take pictures of another person a lot of times. Now these are not portrait photos, these are just normal pictures of myself. I was hoping to show some differences in the skin tone in these pictures, but almost all of them have similar skin tones with just slight variations. However, one of these pictures has much more smoothing on the face going on than the others. I hope you can pick it up. Also, it's a maroon and white t-shirt, and it looks slightly different in each picture due to varying exposure settings. So pick your favorite out of the bunch and we'll go ahead. I'll give you 3 more seconds and 1, 2, 3, next. So in 2018, you need to have the portrait mode. So these are the portrait photos taken on a sunny day. Well, there are black clouds on the background though. I was not hoping to see a huge difference in these pictures, but you can clearly notice difference in the skin tone, edge detection, sharpness, and even the exposure. The blur amount is aggressive in some and very light in some of the pictures. You might even notice some weird cutout of the tree on the left on the background in one of the pictures, and more significantly, the color of my t-shirt is way different in all of these pictures, and this is mostly due to how the cameras were handling the highlights. So I have chosen my pick, and here are the pictures. Take a time to go through all of these photos And now we'll move on in 1, 2 and 3. Now on to this next image. It was Sunday, it's right outside my room, and these pictures will really give you clear image of the dynamic range of these different phones. However, the object in focus here is the lamp right there in the middle. You'll notice difference in detail, sharpness and brightness. And now talking about dynamic range, some phones tend to lean towards the shadows, the darker part of the images, whereas some lean towards the brighter foreground. So it's really about finding the right balance with these kind of situations. So here are every picture in the same place. Go for the one you prefer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and next. Well, if I'm too fast here, you can always go back and take a look. Well, we'll move on to the next image. So it's an ambient light at one of my favorite restaurants, and it's our main focus here. You might have noticed that weird flare in the first picture, except that every phone has handled the light really well. But some of them have less details on the other parts except the light, and that's the most significant difference in these pictures along with the sharpness. Well, go ahead and pick a winner for this photos and we'll move on in 1, 2, 3, 4 and next. So the next picture is a indoor photo shot with a single light source right on the top right hand corner. Clearly the main difference that you can notice here is the detail level on the background and the foreground as well. That white wall has a very rough texture to it, and you may not see it as it is in every picture. Also, you can notice the difference in the light that is hitting the wall. Some pictures have cooler tone and some have much warmer tone to it. So here are all the pictures in one place. Go ahead, pick a favorite one. 1, 2, 3, 4 and we'll move on. So this next shot is a picture of audio cube on a white table, and this picture will give you an idea about white balance bias of the smartphones. And also the other significant difference that you will notice is the color temperature of that yellow wall behind. Some of the pictures tend to lean towards that orange hue and some pictures have that faded yellowish color. So all of them at the same place. Choose your favorite one and we'll move on to the next one in 1, 2 and 3. So okay, you have seen all the pictures, you have done side-by-side comparisons, and you must have your favorite by now. A, B, C or D? Leave your favorite pick in the comments below before I reveal which one's which. If you still have confusions, go back, you can do that. But these are your picks. And these are the letters of each smartphone shown in the video. So for me, there was no perfect winner here. If I had to choose for the top one, then I think it's a tie between the Huawei Nova 3 and surprisingly Mi A2. And then the 8 Star and the Oppo F9 will follow them. But I think we have come to a point where each and every camera are equally good, but the only differentiating point is what can they provide extra. Things like the 60 FPS videos, 4K videos, image stabilization, slow motion and extra stops like that. Well, I guess this is the end and I hope you guys liked our video. Do not forget to like and also subscribe to our channel for further contents like this. Until next time, namaste.